All right, guys, what's going on? In today's video, we're going to be going through a Masters of Evil team build guide. We do have a little bit of a special guest on. Say hi, mama. Say hi, baby. But we're going to be going through the Masters of Evil team build guide here. We know that Moonstone event is going to be going live this week. So I figured now would be a good time for us to go through and talk about, I'll show you what we're going to talk about in today's video. We're going to talk about the best T4s for this team, best ISO weight. We're going to talk about the best team placement. We're going to deal with the red star priorities, like who would I put your red stars on, use the promotion credits on. And then we're going to talk about the best fifth replacement. You can't see me listed out right here, but the best fifth replacement character gear for this team. So let's actually dive into it. First and foremost, to start off with Absorbing Man here in terms of T4s, and I have this listed out in regards to like the priority in terms of how I will go about T4 and the characters. I would start off first with the passive ability here. I think that that's going to be really important, especially if you're looking at a character like Titania, where he's going to be giving her the on spawn is going to give her the extra counters, the 4 counters. That's going to boost her crit chance, but then also as well increases his resistance by 30%. I think that that's definitely a good tier 4. I would go then next with the special ability. Here's the thing about Absorber, man, is that he really kind of only takes 2 turns in a matchup mostly. And I found that the special probably has the most impact here, because with the special ability, when he does this, he's going to be able to copy and clear all negative effects from himself and then all his Masters of Evil allies. So therefore, I find that that's the most impactful, and you can also apply offense down to the primary and adjacent targets too. So the special is pretty good. And then the ultimate I would go with next, where I think he applies immunity to the rest of the team, and deflect as well in Cosmic Crucible. So I think that that's a pretty good one that you're going to want to run with there with the ultimate. But I would say passive and special will be the ones that I will go with first. In terms of ISO 8, there's a couple different options here. Raider is good because you're ultimately just want to throw out a bunch of vulnerables so that Kang can take advantage of those and get the speed ups, right? The speed bar fill. You could run Skirmisher if you are worried about his focus and being able to clear positive effects, like his ultimate ability can clear positive effects off a primary target. If you're worried about him being able to do that, then you can throw Skirmisher on him. But I think that this team is going to be fine now with Moonstone because of the extra 100% focus that she gives them with her passive ability. You could also go with Fortifier too, because man, Absorber Man dies a lot. So if you're just looking for him to survive a little bit longer, Fortifier is not a terrible decision or terrible option to go with as well. All right, next on this list here is Titania. For Titania, I would go in terms of T4s. Passive is really good. Passive T4 gives her an extra, and forgive me, I probably gotta look it up here, but on the passive, I think gives her an extra 10% speed bar on spawn, and then in Crucible, she gains an additional counter on spawn and then an additional deflect as well. So you kind of do want to take advantage of that whenever she takes a turn, because that extra crit, for each counter, she gets an extra 10% crit chance, and then with the deflect she gains an extra 10% crit damage. So the passive is good there. Special ability, I would go with that one next, because if the primary target has safeguard, then she can gain safeguard from that character. So therefore I would go ahead with that special as well. And ultimate gives an extra 100% damage. She really is kind of like a pretty important key damage dealing character on the team. So you definitely do want to put that ultimate on her too. Now in terms of ISO 8, most players are going to run Radar on her, because you do want her, of course, that extra crit chance, crit damage. You want her to crit, and you want to be able to take advantage of that extra damage. She does get max capped, I think, though, on crit chances though. So Striker is not terrible. However, I think optimally Raider is still better. Striker may just be better for some matchups, like maybe Unlimited X-Men if you're using Masters of Evil against them, and that's probably the direction to go in. Otherwise, I would say Raider is probably what you're going to want to go with moving forward with her. Then next on this list here, Ultron. I would, for tier 4s, I will go with this special, because a priority there because of the bots. You want to make sure that you're summoning those 3 summon bots, as opposed to it potentially only being 2 bots that you summon, because there is a 2 to 3 if it's not T4'd. So you want to get the guarantee of having a 3rd bot there. That's been how Ultron has been since the very beginning of his inception in Marvel Strike Force. And then next you want to go with this passive. I believe the passive gives him an extra 15% on the, I'll verify that right now, is passive gives him an extra 15%, I think, speed on spawn. Yeah, Unspawn and Crucible gives them an extra 15% speed bar, so you want to take advantage of that, but then also the additional armor for himself and also Masters of Eva allies too. So that's a pretty good one. And then his ultimate, that's just straight up, hey, you want to be able to do additional piercing damage. It's an extra 80% piercing, especially with the fact that he's going to have a high crit chance. That means that ultimate can do an insane amount of damage when it crits, and also whenever he kills a character with that ultimate ability, they do not revive. It's an unavoidable attack. So there's a lot of really good things there. It bypasses defense up. So there's a lot of really good things that you can get from his ultimate, and especially with teams that you're going to be facing like Unlimited, also Wakandans, War Dogs, now that also have revive ones. Being able to take advantage of that ultimate is very good. I'm going to recommend Raider here for him also, because once again, we want to take advantage of the high crit chance that this team has, and it's being able to do more raw damage, right? All right, and so for Moonstone, when you get her, the best T4s for her are going to be passive, special, and then the ultimate ability. For her passive, you want the additional tier 4 there, because on Cosmic Crucible offense, she gives them an additional 100% focus, which is the reason why I said that Skirmisher and Absorber Man probably won't really matter, because she's gonna be giving them an extra 100% focus anyways. So you're probably gonna be fine there. I like her special first, because her special applies Disrupt, and she can also, well, actually a bunch of stuff. It's defense down, it's Disrupt, it's trauma in Cosmic Crucibles and stun. So therefore, there's a lot of really good things there. It's only to a primary target though, but there's a lot of really good things with her special that I like. And then ultimate ability here, that also can stun a character too. You have to T4 in order for the ultimate to stun. So therefore, I would run that on her as well. And then here again, like you're going to see a lot of these characters are going to be Raiders, primarily because we want to lay those vulnerables. We want to be able to take advantage of the speed up, the speed bar fill for Kang the Conqueror. So a lot of these characters, we're going to throw Raider on them. But I did put Skirmisher here, that if you want to get additional stacks, because she only has two. Oh, actually, no, I'm lying. She only has one multi-target hit, which is her special, I believe. No, actually, that's her ultimate. Sorry, her ultimate is a multi-target hit. So maybe you're like, hey, Raider Man, I'll just prefer to just run Skirmisher so I can just guarantee the mark of vulnerable. Then you can do that as well. That's completely up to you. But I put Raider on her just because also the additional damage aspect whenever they do crit, because they all will have a high crit chance. That's the reason why I do have that there. And then next, the last character on this list, but certainly not the least, is Kang the Conqueror. All of his T4s are good, right? But if you wanted to force me to go in a particular direction, then I would go with the passive ability, his special, his ultimate, and then his basic. But trust and believe that all of his T4s are actually pretty good. And then ISO 8 Striker is the best one on him, especially outside of Striker is even good outside of his team in Cosmic Crucible and Arena. That's a pretty good one that you want to run with too. All right, then in terms of team placement, this is a team placement that I've been running here. Since Absorber Man is gonna gain taunt on Spawn, having Moonstone right next to him. She's the one that I'm willing to sacrifice. If anything does happen, I want to be able to keep these other characters alive here so that they can, kind of dish out more of the damage. These guys are very helpful too, but this is kind of the placement I'm running with right now. Keeping Kang as far away from damage as possible is sort of like my mindset here. And then in terms of the Red Star priorities, Kang, I would go with Kang here. Titania would be next for me. Ultron, I put in the middle, honestly, just because he's dark promotion credits, and that's a hard sell. So therefore, I'm going to put Ultron there. And then Absorber Man right here for number 4. And then Moonstone. Absorber Man, if you want to have him with a little bit more survivability, I will go with this direction again. And Moonstone, number 5. And then last, in terms of like 5th character replacement, if you don't have, let's say, Moonstone, Doom, I've ran Doom in Cosmic Crucible with this team, has done really well. I've run Kestrel in Cosmic Crucible, although you may want to run Kestrel now with a different team that you could use against the Unlimited X-Men team in Cosmic Crucible if you want to use your Masters of Evil for Wakanda. And I've also ran Captain Sam as well. All 3 of these have been successful. They all offer different options for your team, but that's kind of the way that I would run it so far. So hopefully, guys, you find this information to be helpful here. If you have any sort of specific questions, let us know. yes, let us know if you have any sort of specific questions about anything. But appreciate you guys watching the video. Leave a comment if you have anything there. Like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell so that you know when the videos do go live. And until next time, guys, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe.